Yeah.
There we go, I think we're live. Just about. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back then to the Limit Racing Division 2 around Canada once again tonight after the Division 1s took us around yesterday. Sorry about the lateness of the stream. My co-commentator tonight, Revengezilla, had a few technical problems, but he is here now, so it's not just my horrendous accent you have to put up with tonight. I have got some slight different audio for you this evening. Good evening, Revengezilla. Thank you for finally joining me after what was a little bit of a difficult start to the stream. We are in Q1. We have got 17 drivers in the session at the moment. We've got some times on the board as well. I don't know, are you actually in the game yet, or?
I'm in the game. And,
You are in the game.
It took me 10 minutes or so to figure out whether I wanted to listen to your voice for the next hour and a half, but here we are.
Fantastic.
I did join the game just to watch Adrian slam it into the wall as soon as it loaded me in, so that was quite entertaining. But yeah, as you said, yesterday was a really solid race for Division 1, but I think this tier is go on board with Bally. It's an absolute stinker there.
Now, backwards in the wall then of what is turn 8, I believe.
Sorry, I'll carry on, yeah.
And
Div 2, sorry, that caught me off guard. Div 2 is definitely very close from top to bottom, so it'd be interesting to see if only 2 people are getting eliminated in this session, who those 2 people are going to be. But it's not been a good start for Borley as he's binned it on his first attempt.
yeah, Borley with front wing damage then will more than likely peel into the pit lane, and he does so. Not a good start to the session, as you said. And as you said as well, yesterday's race was absolutely fantastic in Division 1. Really give us some fantastic racing. I know you yourself did well in that race, collecting a P4 yesterday. So we saw some pretty quick times yesterday in qualifying. The fastest, as you can see so far, from Adrian, then a 1:11.3 at the moment, puts a little bit of space between himself and LWS Yorkie in P2. I mean, we've got an Aston Martin, I think, backwards in the wall there, the Lapio Finn. I don't think it's got a front wing on the Aston Martin anymore either. So currently P12 at the moment. Then as Viking Beast then goes fastest ahead of Adrian. I was going to say, who do you see as the challenger really to Adrian today? As we know he's got the pace really to be sticking it on pole, and well, I think Viking Beast has just semi-answered that question for us.
Yeah, I mean, we touch a little bit there on Viking Beast, obviously picking up a podium last weekend at the beginning of last week in the first race of the season. So he'll definitely be looking to build on that. The other one, I think, who's more of a direct challenge to Adrian, not just this race but across the season, is going to be LWS Yorkie. He picked up the victory in round 1, and we know he's got the pace round here. So we'll look to see how he fares in qualifying, because he's not normally a qualifier. He's normally a very, very strong racer, so it'll be interesting to see if he can put a challenge in qualifying as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yorkie, as you said, taking that maiden win in Division 2 last week then around the circuit of the Americas then, as we've just watched Jolo Master then go P3 with a 1:11.4 then in that Red Bull. So Red Bull looking strong at the moment, 2 and 3. 2 drivers in trouble at the moment then. We've got Borley, who's back out with a new front wing in Mercedes then, and he'll look then to try and get into the top 15 with this effort. He's just about to start then, and Tadas, the other driver, then sat in the pit lane at the moment then as Ashi goes P4 now with a 1:11.5. Revengezilla, you drove this track yesterday then, and I know you've got a soft spot for Borley, so why don't you take us around his lap then?
Yeah, love a bit of the ball. He's had a bit of trouble in his first attempt, but he's come out on what I would presume is a fresh set of tyres. in order to put a decent lap in and get himself safely through to Q2. He is lagging. I don't know if it's the same for you, but he is all over the shop with lag.
It's not for me.
Yeah, well, anyway.
Which is a promising sign.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to take you through this lap when he's teleporting onto the apex. Oh my lord, that was close.
It was close. It wasn't just on your screen.
Let's go on to someone else's lap. He's invalidated.
But he's invalidated anyway.
He's invalidated we'll go on board with who looks like they're on a lap. Locker has just started a lap.
Locker,
he's lagging it.
No one's lagging. It's just on your screen.
Or maybe it's me.
Yeah, this is why you're not lobby host. You see.
Oh, I'm having a nightmare.
Invalidated, turn 3 anywhere. Locker's invalidated on his next fast lap then. So let's have a look at Tadas, who's just about to start his flying run. And a 112.5 for Tadas at the moment in that Alpine. And just about to start then his flying lap. Then it's a 1 and 2. Gets the left and the right. Pretty much spot on there. It's all about traction here as he comes towards the dreaded turn 3 and 4. Can't take too much of this inside curb this year, but he's managed to get away with it, and nicely then through 3 and 4 then for the Alpine driver, and he's a couple of tenths up on his first effort at the moment. Then rides the curb then at turn 6, and comes down the first of the DRS zones, 1 of 3 of course on this circuit. And now this is another tricky corner. You have to try and cut it as much as you can without losing the back end, as Tadas does then. And what looked like a promising lap has come to nothing, and he'll have to try and preserve those tyres, I imagine, and go around again. Not a lot of time left in this session.
Yeah, I'd love to give some insight into this quali session, but at the minute the internet is having a stinker.
Yeah, that's what you get for living in the middle of nowhere. Go back on your 4G.
Yeah, I mean, I might have to at this point.
Nigel Piggle then coming around
the
final chicane now. Kisses the wall of champions, but goes quicker than with a 111.6. 3 tenths up on his previous effort then to put that Haas into 6th place, just behind LWS Yorkie, who's invalidated his latest flying run. So we've got a few drivers in the pits at the moment then. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. One driver that does need to get out if he does want to progress in this session is Gopher. He looks like he could be in trouble here. He's the lowest driver, down to 14th now then, as I think it was Lapierre Finn goes up then to 8th place. And for the for the second night in a row, I've lost my co-coms there, so we'll see if we can get him back in between Q1 and Q2 then. Forward choosing to retire then in P8 in his TTL debut. Lapierre Finn going slower at the moment. So let's look at the two drivers in the bottom at the moment then. Darth Grey Fox. What can he do in the Williams? It's not enough at the moment then. Currently 16th out of the 17 cars at the moment. Of course, we will lose only 2 from this first qualifying session. And Tadas has also invalidated his latest flying run. We'll then look to try and get a time in on this set of tyres. And Gopher did get out the pits just in time, and he'll look then to improve on that 1 minute 12 then. Close times at the moment really from P1 to P15, separated by just 7 tenths then. So it really is competitive at the moment in the field. Another driver struggling at the moment is Mini, who has invalidated his latest flying run as well. Another driver then looking like he's trying to set a time on a hot lap is Belente then. Currently P12 at the moment. You would imagine safe, just about, really, with the struggles of those drivers behind him. As we said, look how close those times are on the left-hand side. It really is anyone's guess at the moment. It takes just the slightest of improvement as Mini pulls into the pits then. He'll finish this session no higher than 13th. Belente then pulls out of his lap. And Gopher then currently a 10th up, but does a Tadas and a nice 360 and does well really to keep it out the wall. Will that time be enough then to get through to Q2, as one of the drivers we know won't make it further than is Darth Grey Fox, who's invalidated this run with 15 seconds on the clock. And as I say that, Tadas, the other driver with a chance of getting through, crosses the line with a 1:12.3. Only enough for P16 then. And yeah, he will not then be taking any further part in this qualifying session. So in the end, it may have been close on the timing screens, but Tadas and Darth Grey Fox then just a couple of tenths back from the rest of the field, but both very strong racers, and they'll be looking then to try and get some points back in, take them home to the Alpine and Williams teams in the race then. There's your final classification on the left hand side as we await Tadas and Darth Grey Fox to come into the pits then to take us through to the next part of qualifying. And let me try and get my co-commentator back in quickly then between sessions. 1 second. He's in the party, but it's anyone's guess as to whether his chat actually works. So we might hear his voice, we might not. He's struggling at the moment as we wait then for the Alpine team to wheel Tadas back into the pit box. We won't be seeing that car again in this session. And the guy at the top of the standings then, Viking Beast, who was fastest of them all, a 1:11.3 from him. We had Adrian then, who was just behind 800ths back. Jolo Master then, a 10th back from Viking Beast. There's a very close at the top between the front three, and looking good for Red Bull after that first part of qualifying. CTX P4, Ashi P5, very good friends of course, and we'll see if they have a bit of a battle later on in qualifying. LWS Yorkie, Nigel Piggle forward in his first TTL session, takes P8 in Q1. The Lapio Finn and Rud McJudder then rounds off the top 10. And as I said previously, the two drivers we lose from that session then is Tadas and Darth Grey Fox, then both really unable to put in their best times then, and we've lost him again, unfortunately, people. So we'll try again to get him back in. Here we are then, we are into Q2, we've got no audio, which is concerning. There we go. You can hear the cars now. This is nothing but professionalism once again from TTL. We were let down yesterday, and today then we're having technical difficulties again. Let's try again. Let's try and get Professional in. Here he is on a different account now, so let's see if that works in his favour. Probably not, but you never know. We've got to give it a try. Anyway then, into Q2 as I said now. And it is Adrian then out on circuit. A lot of drivers in out on circuit already. Just two still in the pit lane, and RSF1 Locker then joins the action to leave Rud McJudder then the only car in the pits at the moment then. And well, Aston Martin have been also looking strong really as a team. The Lapio Finn we know had pace in pre-season, and we'll be hoping to show that pace again here, but the car's very much bunched up then here. Start their first flying runs in Q2. It is Nigel Piggle then who is going to be the first driver to attempt to put a time on the board, closely followed then by the Lapio Finn. And Nigel Piggle then approaching that turn 3 and 4, does very well indeed, avoids the wall on the exit. It'll probably help if I bring up the lap data. There you go, 99 through sector 1. A decent time there by the Haas driver, very tentative though on the traction, perhaps those tyres not quite in the optimum range, and he has to be a little bit more careful than he would have wanted to be. A little bit of a high gear then through 8 and 9, coming now towards the hairpin, and some drivers like to take a bit of a wider line here. Nigel Piggle though getting tight to the apex then, and carrying the speed through the corner as opposed to down this straight. Then it's all about, of course, what you can do at this final chicane. He's done very well so far to avoid invalidation. It's looked a little bit of a tentative lap, really, from the Haas driver as he comes through the final chicane. Does well there, then tries to stick to the right-hand side for the shortest run to the line. And it's a 1:11.3 then from Nigel Piggle to set the bar for the other drivers in on a fast lap. The Lapio Finn P2, a 1:11.9. Mini then P3 for Haas now. 1:12.2 for him, just beaten by Forward then, 1:11.9. It's another 1:11.9 from Ashy then in the Ferrari. And Viking Beast then matching that form from Q1, crosses the line and takes the fastest time so far in Q2. RSF1 Locker then coming through the final chicane now. And avoids the wall on exit there as well. Pulls the left this time, doesn't hug the right-hand side, and slots into P7 then just behind his teammates. Adrian we saw back off on his fastest lap there, but what can his teammate do? Jollo Master. It's only enough for P7 this time, a 1:12.0 then. Definitely got some more time in that Red Bull that we saw in Q1 then. CTX is going to be one, I think the next driver really, to give us a time on the board. Valente and Yorkie, the only ones on a fast lap at the moment, haven't put a time on the board, but they're behind this man at the moment. CTX in through the final chicane, takes a little bit too much of the second curb, and that puts him on an invalidated lap, and that will also invalidate his next run as well then, and he'll have to take the punishment of an extra lap on that set of soft tyres, so double pain there for the Aston Martin. Here comes Valente now then. He did get through to the second part of qualifying. He'll be happy with that one. We know he's got pace on his day, but he might need to find a little bit more to make Q3 then. It's a 1:12.4 from him. And I think LWS Yorkie then was on an invalid lap. And he's now pushing for a second time then. Let's look to see what battery level he has in that Alpine. 30% at the moment should be enough then, just about to see through the lap. He had a flag ahead of him for an Aston Martin, interestingly enough. It must be CTX, who's on track at the moment. We'll quickly finish off this lap then from LWS Yorkie and try to get my co-commentator back in the party then. So no pressure, Yorkie, all eyes on you here, but the battery usage has definitely come right down. Might not be enough to get him over the line then through the final chicane. Does very well then to take to the tiny bit of runoff there to gain as much time as possible, and it is a good time as well, and a 1:11.7 from the Alpine, and that should then be enough to getting through to Q3, but the time's very close once again then in this session. It's anyone's guesses so far. Let's try and get Revengezilla back into the party and get him on commentary, because everyone heard enough of my voice yesterday, so let's try and get someone else's into the party. There we go. We're back. We're back. And we'll see if we get a wild dinosaur turn on into the pie. Hopefully I beg he does. Please. Please get involved. Let's see if we can hear him this time round. As Ashley then slows down through the final chicane. Then P7 at the moment with a 111.9. You can see them on those times. From P3 then
I'm
out
in,
to
but my
P10 at the
internet
moment.
fucking
Half a
sucks.
second at the moment. I can hear him. I think he's here. Are you in the game? No? Have you gone again?
My internet is having an absolute stinker.
That sounds exactly what we want to hear, that is. Not. Oh dear. Oh dear. Anyway, for now, let's ride on board with Gopher and see if Revengula can get that internet working a little bit better. Fingers crossed. Here is Gopher then, comes through Sector 1, 4/10 up on his previous time. A decent first sector for the Mercedes man there. And he needs to find a little bit more then throughout the lap. If he does want to put himself on a time that will comfortably get him through to Q2. Interestingly then, in the Twitch chat actually, Nigel Pickle saying that first run from him, that 111.3 was on used tyres. Interestingly enough, so it'll be interesting to see if he has got any more time as Revengula leaves the session again, to the dismay of the viewers and the those on track. I can't hear him in the party anymore either. Oh dear. As Gopher then comes through the final chicane, might have a bit of traffic here with the Ferrari ahead then, and it was RSF1 Locker. Now he was on a slow lap there. He crossed the line with a 125, so he wasn't particularly pushing. Did he just get it wrong there, perhaps? And he did. No question about it. He did put Gopher off. Definitely put Gopher off on his lap. And it was looking like a good time from Gopher, but then a bit of controversy then, and I wonder if that'll be referred to the stewards at the end of this session. RSF1 Locker might find himself with a small penalty for that one, because that effectively ruined Gopher's lap, which was, as I said, a good one. And to make matters worse, RSF1 Locker has now, and you can tell there from how close Gopher got as he came past, he was not happy with the block then. So, yeah, that might then be referred. And actually, you can tell he's slowed right down here. And he's got, I don't know if this is apologising, but waving on a straight. Let's not do this, boys. Let's just let's carry on, shall we? Not get in the way of each other once again. I think he might be apologising there to Gopher. Locker then now into the drop zone as well. P11, he needs to find some time. Forward, going on a slow on a lap. Lapio Finn not improving either. Neither is Mini at the moment, and neither is CTX then. So the driver's struggling then to improve. And as we wind up then for the last set of runs, 4.5 minutes left on the clock now in Q2. It's hard to try and find somebody on a fast lap at the moment. ETNL Mini, I should say. Here he goes. Onto a flying run then. P7 at the moment for Haas. And might want to improve by a couple of tenths then. He might feel a little bit more comfortable in the mid 1 minute 11s. There's some quick drivers still to set a time. Interestingly, Rudd McJudder then still hasn't exited the pits. He hasn't come out at all to attempt a lap then. So I wonder if he's having some kind of issues as well with setup or something at home. He hasn't taken to the track at the moment though, so he's got 3.5 minutes to get out there and try and put a time to get him through to Q3 then. We're still with Mini at the moment then on his flying lap. 3.5 minutes left now for the drivers, as I said, to get around once again. 5 drivers in trouble. RSF1 Locker, Valente, Gopher, Adrian, who's the big shock as well in that bottom 5 at the moment. And Mini is the latest victim then to the corner cutting infringement at the final chicane, and he will take that punishment, as we said, of having to go around once again now. And quite a few drivers getting out of the way there. Oh, and nearly are coming together then between the Lapio Finn and Nigel Piggle. Ooh, Lapio Finn getting away with not touching the back there of the Haas driver, but definitely in the mood to get a move on. Belente then into the top 3. 1:11.5 from him. Great lap from the Alfa Romeo. LWS Yorkie then invalidating his run. Bully not on a particularly fast lap either. It's down to RSF1 Locker, who is also invalidated then. 2.5 minutes left of the session into the pits. Doubt he'll be able to get in and out again for another lap. Mini then going slow as well. So here's Bally then. P7 at the moment. Needs to get a good time on the board. Adrian is about to cross the line. Again, it's not enough. I think it was an invalid lap as well. It was not even enough if it wasn't invalid. But he's got another chance then. This might be his final chance of the session. Drivers jostling them for track position at the moment. There's Viking Beast and the first driver into the 1 minute 10s. 1:10.9 from him, just about sneaking in there. We've got on a lap LWS Yorkie then. Here he comes down the penultimate straight. And for the few words we got out of Revengula tonight, he did say that LWS Yorkie wasn't particularly the quickest qualifier in the world, perhaps a bit stronger on race pace. Can he put that theory to bed? Well, it's P2 at the moment, then still a way back from Viking Beast, but not a bad time at all there from LWS Yorkie. We've got Ashy now then, who invalidates through that final chicane. The latest victim to that particular curse. CTX invalid on his lap as well. Bally invalid too. 1 minute left now of Q2, so this will be then the final runs for the drivers, as Adrian does get a time on the board to get through then. P4 for the Red Bull. His teammate had the pace in Q1 then. He's third, I think, in Q1. Struggling here in P12 at the moment. We're going to see no more of Mini in this qualifying session, but will we see him in Q3? We are about to find out then. Red McJudder is still not out on track, so he's definitely out in Q2 and will take no further part in qualifying. Forward as well, who had some pace then in Q1. He was in the top 10 comfortably. Crosses the line. He's got 10 seconds left then on the clock as he goes over the line, so he'll get another time in should he need it. Then it's RSF1 Locker who comes across the line. He just about made it as well for another flying lap. Gopher though doesn't. So Gopher joins Rud McJudder in being out in Q2. And that is how crucial then that block from RSF1 Locker might have been, as the Mercedes driver will start no higher than 14th for the race. I imagine he'll have a word or two to say about that one, but we're on board with Forward then, who's got the chance to put the Lapio Finn down into the bottom 5 as he then doesn't improve and comes into the pits then. So Forward looking like he's on a decent lap at the moment, and looking then like this is a time that will put him into the top 10 and through to Q3 then, but he's got one more tricky corner to go. Many drivers struggling with this one. He negotiated this time, but how quickly did he manage to get around in the end? Crosses the line, and it is then enough in P5. And is the controversy of the session going to be that RSF1 Locker makes it through to Q3 at the expense of Gopher? No, it isn't. It's P12 for RSF1 Locker then, with Jolo Master not making it through either. That's a big shock as well in this qualifying session, as he had the pace in Q1 to be just behind his teammate, but couldn't replicate that in Q2 then. And we have our full list of drivers in going out in Q2. There you have it. there is your final classification for Q2. Viking Beast, quickest at the top, once again really showing some great pace at the moment. 3/10 the gap between him and second place Nigel Pickle. Then LWS Yorkie finding his way into the top 3, so it looks like we are still in for a fight for the top places then on the grid. And as I said, the 5 drivers that we lose in this second part of qualifying is the Lapio Finn, RSF1 Locker, Jollo Master, Gopher and Rudd McJudder, who didn't come out onto the track in Q2 then. And yeah, as I said, the Twitch chat at the moment, Gopher, I thought might not be too happy with that incident with him and RSF1 Locker, but yeah, everyone does make mistakes. Nigel Piggle, you are right, and we will see then if we are going to have a Stewards investigation into that after the race. And let's try once again to get my co-commentator into the party. He seems to think he's got it fixed, so we'll see if we can hear him this time and get him in for the top 10 shootout then.
Oh my lord. We have liftoff.
He might be here.
What do you mean might be?
Might
I'm
be.
here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. No
You
one's
joined last time, and
lagging.
it's still...
No one's lagging and I'm here. Oh, good lord. Hello everybody.
Well, as
Back
you
in
join
time
us
for the good stuff.
for Q3, actually, you say the good stuff, it's just started raining at the start of
Is it?
Q3. Yeah.
Am I blind or can I... Oh no, I see the rain. So is it a rush to
Yeah,
get
so
out on the softs then?
It is.
So is it
And
going to be
everyone's out at
Balente
the
for pole
moment.
then? Because he's out in front. He's out first.
He is out first. LWS Yorkie, though, hasn't managed to come out quick enough because he
Oh,
got disconnected.
Yeah,
from
I
the
have
session.
invited him back. But it's gonna
Yeah,
take
he is
a little
back
while.
in.
Yeah.
But he's just not in his car just yet. So it is raining. That's why you've seen all the cars out there very early on. So when you come back, you bring the rain with you.
Exactly. You're welcome, everybody.
I don't know if that says something about you.
Is Viking Bees getting pole then, or what's the deal?
He was quick in Q1 and Q2. He was top. So by some distance, but of course, it all depends how well he can do in the damp conditions. And it is Balente that's going to take us round first of all. Do you want to try this again? Do you want to have a go at talking for a bit? Over Balente's lap? No? Yeah, please? Please be there? No? Maybe you just don't want to do it, okay? Anyway, DRS then, disabled as the drivers finished Sector 1. I was waiting for you to talk then. I asked you a direct question and then you just went blank. I said, do you want to talk over Balente's lap that's nearly finished? Yeah, well, yeah, we will follow Balente as he will cross the line first, but... yeah, you make a good point. But how much of an advantage does he get then being a couple of seconds ahead of Bally behind him? Then will he invalidate through this final chicane as you predicted? No, he shut you up. He's carried on round and he's about to cross the line. And it's a 1 minute 14.7 then. The driver's really struggling at the moment. Bally with a 1:15.3. CTX a 1:14.9, about 3 or 4 seconds slower compared to the fastest. Oh, there you go then. he shot you. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see much quicker than these times. Mini coming around the final corner. He's already into the 1 minute 20s then. Yeah, Mini's time. Yeah, not very representative from Mini then. So despite the absolute soaking conditions at the moment. Here comes Yorkie then through the final chicane, keeps it pointing in the right direction. No idea how he's managed to do that. I've got some idea though. And he's just behind Adrian then. P5 for Yorkie, and if we're correct about what we think is going to happen with the weather, we think that is pretty much the top 10 then, apart from... yeah. It's, you know, we've got Nigel Pickle and Ashley's come back out on the softs. Bizarrely. Nigel Pickles on the intermediates and the first driver to do so, I think. Yep. There you go. So he'll be the first of the intermediate runners then, because surely they've all got to go for intermediates now. So yeah, P6 very much on the cards here for Nigel Pickle, but yeah, you said you were here for the good stuff. I mean, the fight for P6, I guess, will be a great one. Valente then on pole. Valente, yeah, safe to say Valente will be on pole. His first pole in TTL. Yep, as we follow them through 3 and 4, negotiates those corners pretty well. Not the fastest time we're going to see, of course, through Sector 1, a 22.1, a couple of seconds slower than the dry conditions. Adrian, interestingly enough, has selected the intermediate tyres and thinking maybe he can do better than a 118.1 on a set of inters then. It's not completely out there in terms of possibility. So we might have a fight for P4 on our hands here, maybe. Fingers crossed. I'm sure we'll tell here from Nigel Pickle's lap, who supposedly... yeah, well, he's supposedly purple through Sector 2, but we know that is more than likely a lie. But here he comes in, down the penultimate straight. Can he get close to the 118 of Adrian? No. Because he's had an absolute mare. It probably would have been enough to at least go ahead of Mini, but just in a Haas in the wall. It's Mini who's put the Haas in the wall and off the hairpin. Damage to the front wing. He'll be in the box, but yeah, that's not what he wants. As you said then, Adrian is going to give it a go on the intermediates. 4.5 minutes left of Q3 then. Oh my word. It's had a bit of a nightmare there on the traction. 3 and 4 again, the back end stepping out. 22.6, about half a second down on what Nigel Pickle managed on his intermediate run, so I don't know if the conditions are getting a bit worse. But he's definitely not lapping at the same pace as Nigel Pickle managed. Has Nigel Pickle got round again? Oh, he's into the pits again. At full pelt as well. Here we go then. Adrian down into the hairpin, 3.1 seconds off his 181 time. Sounds about right, to be honest with you. Yeah. Yorkie's giving it a go as well. I mean, I wonder if it's raining in the race maybe, and this might be a little bit of the experience for them in the web. Then you'd expect to see Valente and CTX back out. No, no one told me yesterday, no one's told me today, so thanks. Viking Beast is coming across the line, and it is close to a 118. It is a 118. A 118.9. Probably not, considering Viking Beast was quickest in the dry, but I suppose you can never say never. It's not impossible to find a little bit of pace. It looks like Valente is definitely going to be on pole, though. The track's still raining here in Q3. Forwards invalidated his lap. Viking Beast, I think he's going again. Yorkie's 2 seconds off his 118.1. Adrian's invalidated, so it's not looking like a fun end to the qualifying session, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, it's not what you want to see in your first. And it's been difficult for. It's his first qualifying session in TTL, so he's done well to make it through to Q3. As Ashi is going to put a valid time on the board, it is going to be enough to beat Mini. It's P7 then as forward. I think I've just seen him absolutely launch himself through turn 8 and 9. Yeah. Absolutely gone for it. Nigel Piggle then on a lap. It was a 22.2, I think, through the first sector. It comes up to the second sector, 48.6 from him. So it's probably going to be enough to beat Ashi. Can he get close to Viking Beasts 118.9? And here we go then. Down the penultimate straight. Through the final chicane for the Haas driver then. And will he invalidate again? Of course he does. It's Nigel Piggle. What more did you expect? Nope, he's invalidated the next run. As Mini takes back 7th. There we go. That was exciting. Ashley could find some time through the final chicane. He's 3/10 down on his previous lap, but we saw how carefully he took it here last time round. A little bit more aggressive this time, but not particularly the fastest. But does cross line. Can he take back P7? Yes! Yeah. Good lad. Good lad. P10 for you. Diamond says he can't hear you. Have you included audio? Or have you just been talking to me? Well, you're very loud in my ears. So... well, he can't hear you apparently. I don't know. Flick the button off and on, maybe? I don't know. How have you connected now? Are you just... Oh. What? I did tell you to do that earlier. Yeah. Right. Fantastic. There's now the figure on. Great. Me problem after you've had the problems all night. Okay. As then we finish Q3. Thanks for that. Yeah. Nigel Piggle, and there's your top 10 for the race. And it is Valente on pole. pole, an unlikely pole. Perhaps he might think, but he did the business in the tricky conditions. And Alfa Romeo will start then on the front row with CTX alongside him. It's Bawley in P3, Adrian in P4, Yorkie P5, and then Valente was obviously, of course, the first one round on the softs, and then the first driver round on the intermediates was Viking Beast, who managed to put a time on the board. P6 for him, Ashy 7th, Mini in 8th. And then the bottom two unable to put a time in forward, and Nigel Piggle will line up on row 5. Let's see if we can get a talking zither back into the party. There we go. It's lovely and dry at the start of the race. How quickly will someone hit the A button?
Right, if people can let me know if you can hear me, that would be great.
There we go. I don't know why you didn't just reset your router earlier when I said to reset your router. You made me do Q1 and Q2 by myself for your stubbornness. You fraud.
Beauty of hindsight, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone knows, just listen to Bidley. Let's hope it's working now. I don't know if anyone can hear you.
Well, if they can't, I'm off, mate. You'll never see me again.
Great. You had an absolute stinker, mate. Oh. Yeah, it's gone really well.
If they can't, I'm off. Alright, yeah. I've played the stream through my phone and I can hear my voice, so I'm having no fucking excuses.
Yes, finally. We've just about sorted it out.
Before the race. It's taken an hour.
Race.
It's taken an hour. Right then. Get your predictions in. Is Jollo Master going to get a podium?
Is Biddle going to kill himself by the end of the race?
I think we need to get a double
The odds
Hungarian
are
podium.
Yeah. That would be something for the history books, I guess. A double Hungarian podium. Where is Formula Magna when you need them, whatever it is?
I reckon that was forward. I reckon that's his account. Anyway, I'm going to have a look at the race director. Let's get down to the business here, Bidley. And let's talk about tyre choices. It looks like we have no one opting for the softs, and from personal experience last night, the mediums were surprisingly an unbelievable race tyre. So I'll expect to see quite a few people start on the hards and go to the mediums around lap 18 to 20. And really eke out the best performance towards the end of the race. Looks like LWS Yorkie is having a little dabble with the softs.
Yeah, I mean, depending on safety cars, of course, we got a couple yesterday. But, you know, we did see, I think someone went on soft yesterday. I can't remember who it was, though. I think it was Dan Hardy, actually, that did the soft yesterday. And pitted after, like, lap 3. So,
yeah, it was a safety car, though, I think, so it's understandable.
Yeah. Everyone, then. Can I just say, I think for the first time this season, in, what is it, the 6th race we've run now? For the first time,
someone's not readied up.
I mean, round of applause. Absolutely unbelievable from the lads. Unbelievable. That is what we like from Division 2. They're putting Division 1 to shame. Or putting Air Max to shame. It was Air Max yesterday, I think.
It was Air Max? Oh, Air Max. Oh, I know the geezer. I know the geezer. Yeah, he's my brethren.
AMR Rexes. Yeah. Let's bring up those tyres we were talking about anyway. There you go. So Yorkie has gone for the softs from the start.
What a plum. I say that, but it's going to end up working now that I've called him a plum.
Yeah, it's a pretty much a 50-50 split in terms of the hards and the mediums. And we've gone, if I can count quick enough, 6 on the hards, I think. That leaves
Great maths.
Yorkie as the 1 on the soft. So 10 on the mediums then, by the laws
I mean,
of
if Yorkie ain't
maths.
P1 by lap 3, then it's going to be a long old day for him.
Yeah, Dan Hardy, I think, made up about 6 places off the start yesterday on the soft tyres.
He was also very quick on his medium stint as well.
Indeed.
He sure
he
breezed past me.
was. I think, yeah, what worked for a lot of drivers yesterday was starting on the hards. I think you did the same, actually, starting on the hards and then going to the mediums.
That's what I mean. I think normally on most circuits on this game, the hards are the best race tyre, and you want to spend, the majority of your race on the hards. But it really surprised me last night at how good the mediums are around here. And there's a massive performance difference, and you'd expect the mediums to die off quite quick, but even after 15 laps or so, I was getting really, really good performance and lap time out of the mediums. So expect to see maybe some of these guys take note of that if they were watching last night, and maybe use that strategy in their own race today. But, let's have a guess then how many people are going to get disqualified barking up on the grid. I'm going to go 4.
Yeah, well, you've got Balente then pulling into pit box, grid box, I should say, number 1 for the first time then. So let's see if he nails his starting position then. He's definitely done a decent formation map, kept the pack close to him. There's a yellow line, sir, and not a bad job either there, but the Mercedes behind him very much pointed in the right direction to get around him. Your prediction of 4 was spot on.
Yep, some would
As
say
we
I'm
can
an
see
absolute wizard.
forward. The Lapio Finn then all out of position for the start of the race, but it is then 5 red lights. And it's go then for Division 2, and it's a great start for CTX and looking to go around the outside of Balente, who got slightly bogged down there then into turn 1. All the drivers cleanly getting through so far, but into 2 is where we saw the chaos yesterday. But it looks like they've done a slightly better job. And just as I say that, Nigel Piggle is round. And there is an almighty pile-up.
And he's out.
The second corner. And he's out. And it's a virtual safety car only as well.
Oh
Not
dear.
sure what happened to Nigel Piggle there. But
Oh dear, the full safety car's out.
yeah, well, that's probably lucky, to be fair, because I think a lot of the grid might be carrying some form of damage.
Poor old Viking Beast got caught up in that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Nigel Piggle, but that's probably the byproduct of his
dear.
qualifying.
And I've head to the Discord to get a bit of a rundown of what happened there, because normally someone's in there complaining straight away, and Piggly has shifted the blame straight onto Viking Beast.
Oh no, Viking Beast!
Saying, and I quote, "the dirtiest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life." If we get a clip, Piggly, that would be great.
Yeah.
It looks like Locker got caught up in that incident as well. He's not coming in for a new front wing. Maybe it wasn't Locker. But Viking Beast is in for a new wing. The Lapio Finn is going to be in for a new wing. So there's 4 pitters at the end of lap 1. Never mind. The Lapio Finn's not even come in for a wing change. He has just come in strictly to put on the hards.
Yeah, I don't know how much he had to lose there. I don't know where he was prior to coming into the pits. But he's back out in 14th anyway. Big gainers then at the start of the race. Adrian up 2, Ashley up 2, Jollo Master then up 7 in all that carnage. And Darth Grey Fox then, who was plumb last. Plumb last at the start of the race, makes up 10 to get into the top 7 then. Managing to avoid the chaos. Viking Beast and Mini down 9 and 8, and LWS Yorkie then loses 8 off the start, but ditches the soft tyre and he's onto the hards.
Yeah, what do you think about that decision to pit then from Lewis Yorkie? I'm not sure if he fixed his front wing at all, or whether it was a strategic pit stop. But it seems interesting to give up that sort of track position.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get them till the end. So, interesting call, I would say, from the Alpine team and obviously LWS Yorkie in particular. Safety car will carry on around for another lap. Expect it in then on lap 3. Should point out in all of that chaos, Rudman Judder got himself a 5-second penalty then for ignoring yellow flags. So I think he passed somebody then under the yellow flags and just chose not to get back the place. So, interesting there then, gets a 5-second penalty for that, which he will serve at his next
They got the John
stop.
Ruds. Yeah, interesting. Balente really struggled to get off the line at the start, and he's conceded 2 positions there, but we'll see if he can keep on to the back of Adrian and CTX, as they will be surely looking to pull away at the start. CTX having an amazing start, considering that I believe he's on the hard. He is on the hards. So we'll see whether he can keep the medium runners behind him on this safety car restart. It should be in this lap, just based off what the train is looking like.
Yeah, it's a shame for Balente. I think Balente was pretty honest in the Twitch chat about his race starts. He knew he wasn't particularly the best of starters, so shown there by losing out to CTX and Adrian, who's put himself back into contention now really for the win today. And how quickly can he get past CTX now with Adrian on the medium, CTX on the hards.
He's really backing up the pack here, so it looks like he can look to accelerate quite early, seeing as the safety car is already in the pits.
Yeah, might take him a while to get those tyres up to temp then, but will he put the foot down after the chicane and try and catch the Red Bull out? And there we go. And Adrian then having none of it and trying to tag onto the back of the Aston Martin. Not too sure he's going to be close enough for a move into turn 1, and does filter in behind the Aston Martin then. And is there much action going on behind it? Jollo Masters having a bit of a battle with Ashy then through turn 2, and looks to get the purchase off turn 2 round the outside into 3. Does throw it round.
That was never going to work.
Ashy, yeah, a bit careless there.
Oh,
dear.
he just reversed onto the track, and Yorkie's had it.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh dear, that was not a great time to reverse.
Oh dear.
No. Has Yorkie managed to get out of that damage free? No, he hasn't. Oh dear.
Ah dear.
Oh dear. Well, last week's race winner has not had the best of starts, but one man who has had a decent start is Locker. We'll go away from that quickly, as Adrian does take the lead of the race then. He uses a bit more of his battery, and on those medium tyres he's going to look to pull a gap at the start.
Yep, and he had to use those medium tyres to his advantage now then, and makes it a breeze getting past CTX. How quickly then can Balente and Bawley perhaps get past the Aston Martin, as well as we've got Viking Beeson into the pits with LWS Yorkie. Big shame for both of those drivers, I think, getting caught up in the spinner of Jollo Master and Ashy. Would you say that was a careless move from Jollo Master there? You think Ashley had the right, really, for the corner?
Yeah, I think it was ambitious. I think Ashley could have left a little bit more space at the outside, knowing that Jollo Master was hanging around the outside, but ultimately, no one's ever making a move stick round there side by side, so yeah, I think it's a racing incident, but could have easily been avoided. I'm not sure, is the DRS... Okay, the DRS is going to be active next lap then. Adrian has pulled out of the 1 second window from CTX, but I was talking about earlier on about how the medium tyre is the better race tyre out of the two. So he's going to definitely look to make use of that early on, as CTX is definitely going to be stronger come the end of the race. There's currently 1.2 seconds a lap difference between the two at the moment. So Adrian can really start to pull away here.
Yeah, Ballio all over the back of Belente as well. Had a little bit of a sniff up the inside into one, but ultimately chose not to throw it up the inside of the Alfa Romeo and will continue in P4. Now then, behind a driver that's made up quite a few places as well then, is Gopher, who's battling Dark Grey Fox, remember, who started P17. Does ultimately look like Gopher has got a bit more pace than the Williams at the moment and should be passed then in no time really, as the battle then for P2. Yellow flag out, and is that for Tadas, I think, who's had a moment.
Gopher just had to let off the throttle then at the hairpin as he was going to make contact with Darth Grey Fox, but now he's going to turn the battery on, and he is using quite a lot of the battery. He's used about 20% down that straight, and he's going to get too close for a move. He's going to have a look up the inside, but let off the brake a little bit early, and he's going to compromise both of their exits through there. And it means that Locker then is going to have a look on the pair of them, and it's going to end up being nearly 3 wide. Locker's going to lunge it on both of them, and he makes the move stick, and he makes contact with Gopher on the outside of the corner. And Gopher has to let off the throttle then go around turn 2, which means Darth Grey Fox is going to get the move back, and he's going to look to hang it around the outside, and smartly so lets Gopher go. But Locker making the most then out of a difficult chicane for the pair behind, and he makes the move stick up to P5 now, and 7 positions in total made up for the Ferrari driver.
Yeah, no love lost between Locker and Gopher, definitely after the qualifying earlier on. Of course, those that watch qualifying will know that Locker ultimately getting in the way of Gopher's fastest lap.
That one.
Yeah, and Locker, well, for your information, Locker blocked Gopher on his flying run.
Well,
so
Valente's closest lap, diddly.
So, in Q2, here is Valente then, who looks like he's going to get a very easy move done under DRS through the final chicane. Can CTX get better purchase though from the Wall of Champions? Not quite. Looks like he'll struggle then to carry on. And Darth Grey Fox.
Oh dear, the first victim of the Wall of Champions.
It's Williams in the middle of the track. And it is a safety car, I think.
There is a safety car, yes.
Has to be. With that Williams in the middle of the track like that. Jollo Master then choosing to pit for a new front wing, and it's set then of the hard tyres. Why is something happening?
Well, just people overtaking each other under safety car conditions, but I'm not sure if one of them had a legal overtake and they were giving it back, but it was John Ruddy and Tadas were swapping positions. And it looks like Lapio Finn's just coasting it round. Anyway, Bidley, it's lap 8. Everyone is on either the mediums or the hards, so what do we think in terms of pit strategy? Is anyone going to opt to go hards here, like talking about the people who are on the mediums currently?
Yeah, we've just seen Jollo Master in, who's got rid of mediums for the hards. I think it's a bit too early for the for the hards, I should say. If I'm honest, I think we'll lose a bit too much time pitting now for the hard tyres. Some drivers might feel like they have nothing to lose though, and
Forward being one of them.
It's Forward, yeah. I was just about to say, he comes into the pits then and releases Gopher then into P6, and now it's Locker and Gopher back together on track again.
One person who I think deserved this safety car is LWS Yorkie. He was definitely screwed over after that incident between Ashi and Jollo Master, and this safety car is hopefully going to bring him onto the back of the pack. He's still got over half the circuit to catch up to the safety car queue, but he should be able to make it there in time for the safety car restart.
Yeah, we should say really as well, a mention for Darth Grey Fox who did really well at the start of this race, was up to P5 at one stage, but ultimately, yeah, that's a very tricky corner for many drivers. Hasn't been the first to have an incident there, won't be the last, and yeah, hopefully he can come back a bit stronger next week after he's proved today he's got a bit of race pace. And I've just seen him in the Twitch chat actually say he was totally gutted about his incident. So, yeah, unlucky, but hopefully we can see you back and fighting next week. I have no idea what the track is next week.
We're at Portugal next week.
Portugal? Oh, there you go. Nigel Piggle have fond memories of Portugal.
Oh, yes.
So we'll see. We'll see hopefully that he's back and racing for that one too. As the safety car then leads us on to lap 9 of this Division 2 race around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's round 2 of the TTL Season 1. LWS Yorkie, last week's race winner, currently P15 at the moment then, after a couple of incidents in this race through no faults of his own. Let's see how quickly he can get back through the field. Leading at the moment is Adrian, who started P4 then, but got ahead of Belente, CTX and Bully at the start then, and found his way up into P1. And Belente then using that medium tire to his advantage to get back ahead of CTX now, as it does look like it's getting a little bit cloudy overhead, but we had that yesterday and it didn't rain at all, so I don't think we're going to see any rain today then. 4 drivers carrying a penalty so far, and they are the Lapio Finn with 3 seconds, Rudman Judder, who got that penalty for ignoring the yellow flags. Ashi, I think, got 5 seconds for some sort of contact, and Jolo Massa as well, who we saw reverse and cause a bit of chaos out of turn 4 then. And safety car in this lap, Revengezilla. Adrian is going to lead us away this time. We had a CTX restart last time. Where do you think Adrian's going to go for it this time?
Well, CTX waited until he was out of the chicane. I know AMS Drive yesterday went, earlier than the chicane, so it'd be interesting to see. The safety car is in the pit lane now then. So Adrian is free to go whenever he chooses. And it looks like he's stopped warming up his tyres as he approaches the chicane. Is he going to go straight on the exit? He's not. He's going to hold the pack up a little bit more, warm up those tyres. Tadas is getting penalties underneath the safety car conditions, and CTX looks like he's got the better start. Out of the 3 of them, he's going to have a look. No, he's not into turn 1. They're all going to go through then line astern. Single file, looks like a little bit of carnage in the background as Ashi is spun round. I'm not sure if that was due to contact, but further in the back, Yorkie looks like he's once again in the wars. But up in front, Bally's going to make a move then on CTX, and it looks like an interesting place to go side by side. Is Bally going to look for the switchback? He's going to get the better exit. He's on the medium tyres. And it looks like CTX is going to use a little bit of that battery, and I say a little bit, he's used 35% already this lap, as Mini has a bit of an incident then coming out of the first chicane. But it's Adrian again who's going to pull that 1 second gap, this time to Belente, as he manages to get past CTX on the safety car restart. Locker there a little bit late on the brakes, and he's going to leave himself vulnerable here to Gopher. But Locker's going to use a load of battery, and I think he's also got low wings because he has pulled away from Gopher there on the back straight. And as I say, that
nice 3-second time penalty.
Yeah.
Maybe carrying a little bit too much speed there at the end of the straight and picking up a 3-second time penalty, which we saw hurt a lot of drivers yesterday as the race finished, and he'll be hoping not to rack up any more of those in his nice Mercedes sandwich at the moment between Bully and Gopher, who is all over the back of him. Then LWS Yorkie ahead of Tadas now. A recovery drive here for some kind of points today. He is in at 12th place at the moment. We've got a problem. I'm on the wrong account as well.
Were you on board with Yorkie there?
No, I wasn't. I was someone that's in the Twitch chat.
What was that from Ashley?
Oh!
What on earth was that?
Well, Mini has just absolutely had a clouting from Tadas, and
I don't think
somehow
that was Tadas's fault.
no, it wasn't. But
She's just hit him.
somehow
Oh my god, we're going to go 4 wide. Get on board with Yorkie now. We're going to go about 10 wide into the chicane. Never mind. We've got a good view of Jolly Master and John Ruddy up in front. Oh, as they manage to fit through, and he's in the wall is Jolly Master. Is that going to leave himself vulnerable? Yorkie's got the better exit out of the 3 of them. Oh no, he's going to end in tears. Oh god, Yorkie.
what is going on? It's a battle between
John,
5 cars. And
John Ruddy's had to take the tightest line through turn 2, and Ashy then is up the inside, but Viking Beast is going to get past him, and Viking Beast is going to go for a lunge then on John Ruddy. John Ruddy is in the wars.
just gonna quickly 1 second.
It's all happening here. What's happening, Bidley?
Bidley is just sorting something out on me.
Can the
We need to
stream
get some
can
admins.
the stream see our race? Can I continue
The
to
stream
commentate?
can. We're currently looking at Viking Beast.
Okay, right. Back to Viking Beast we go. As he's half a second back now from LWS Yorkie, I think this battle is starting to die down just a tiny bit then. And it looks like up in front, Gopher's had a bit of an incident. And he's dropped back a lot, and he's dropped back into the clutches of Jolly Master.
Right, we're back.
And Gopher's in the box then, so something must have happened on that lap. I'm not sure if you want to have a look, see if he's fixing the front wing. He's not. So he is just gone onto the hard compound tyres then. This is a scheduled pit stop then for Gopher.
Yeah, a little bit early. You would expect him to have taken the mediums a little bit longer than that. He'll rejoin then P15. And at the moment, we have got then a few drivers still needing a pit stop. Definitely at least the top 5 still needing to pit before the end of this race. Then it's Forward in P6 at the moment, running 5-lap-old hard tyres. He might try and gamble to get those to the end of the race, of course, depending on any further safety cars. Sorry about the little malfunction in TV direction there. Yeah, we need to get some Twitch mods and watch along the stream. Maybe Diamond Douchey.
That's the action then. It looks like Lewis Yorkie is closer to Jolly Master this lap. He's not too healthy on the ERS though, is Lewis Yorkie, so he's not going to look to turn any of that battery on the back straight, but expect to see him use a little bit of it on the main pit straight then. He doesn't get the best exit, and it looks like CTX then is making a move on Balente. He's up the inside at turn 2. Balente's going to try and hold it around the outside, and where have we seen this before? What an exit that is from Balente. As he keeps the position then coming out of turn 2.
In those medium tyres,
yeah, the traction
great
there.
from Balente.
Unbelievable.
And I was just wondering whether the hard tyres for CTX were just starting to come into their own a little bit compared to Balente's 14-lap-old mediums, but Balente's showing, yeah, he's still got a bit of pace then.
Yeah, look who's got himself involved in this battle then for P2. Locker's managed to bridge the gap, and he is onto the back of these 3. And look how much ERS the Ferrari driver's got.
Yeah, definitely doing well at the moment, carrying a small penalty, but expect to see more from other drivers before the end of this race. And we might have a 4-way fight here then for P2 on track at the moment, and Adrian's got a 2.5 second buffer to Balente in P2. Who's going to get the best purchase then out of the final chicane? It's Bawley then who's going to look to make a move on CTX. Can't get close enough though, and there's a little bit of a DRS train forming now then with Balente the head of it, but he's having to use a lot of battery, Balente, to keep ahead of the 3 cars behind him.
Deary me.
We've got an oh dearie me from the co-commentator. I have a feeling it's to do with Viking Beast.
No, you were
Yorkie. Oh, no?
No, you were close. LWS Yorkie went for a move on Jolly Master into turn 1, and he decided he was just going to drive straight into the back of the Red Bull driver and went spearing into the wall. I don't know how his front right tyre's not hanging off the car, but his front right end plate is off the car. So we'll see Yorkie in the box this lap, I think.
It's a big shame for the Alpine driver who looked like he was just getting back on track for some points then.
Oh, it's all going down up at P2 again.
Today. Yep, straight back then to the fight for P2, then half a second between each driver at the moment. And this could get pretty tasty towards the end of the pit straight. But they're definitely all being dragged along by the Alfa Romeo ahead of them at the moment, and just no one can just seem to get close enough. Yellow flag out forward.
Jolly Master. Oh no! We've got a pile up. Oh. I think it was Jolly Master and Viking Beast just went pouring into the back of forward. Oh no, the Hungarians collide.
Yeah, forward then crashing into the wall of champions. Jolly Master, I think, getting involved. I got no front wing, as you said. I think Viking Beast picked up a 5-second penalty in all that for a collision with Jolly Master. I don't really think that was his fault, but he'll serve that in the box because he's got no front wing, so it won't be removed at the end of the race. Jolly Master's 5 seconds as well. LWS Yorkie in all of that somehow got a drive-through. So, not too sure what that was for. If you want to check the race director, it was something to do with safety car. I think it might have been the Delta when he come into the pits. Might have just
the race director is so long. Speeding under safety car, it says.
Yeah, I think his Delta was out when he picked it behind the safety car. Anyway, we've got people in the box then. Adrian, Valente, CTX, all choosing to come into the pits then, which makes the Lapio Finn now the leader on track.
We got the Finn.
Let's see what tyres. The Lapio Brit, I think he likes to be
Yeah,
called.
surely he's going to have to box. He's not going to stay out on them hards, is he? And he's going to lose so much track position there by the time he gets to box. Adrian, after making a pit stop, is going to come out P2. The man
as well,
the man you've got to watch out for, CTX, on the mediums.
This is what I was saying earlier yesterday. It really works for the drivers that went onto the mediums rather than starting on the hards. Starting on the mediums, I should say. So, yeah, CTX and Locker here are going to be very tasty.
Yeah, unfortunately they do both have penalties.
Yeah, and Yorkie's got a drive-through to serve still. Otherwise, he'd be looking pretty decent as well now. But yeah, I'll have to serve that when the safety car pits then. Can you serve it when the safety car is boxing?
Yeah, no. Yes, no? No.
I don't know if you have to.
No, I don't think
you can serve it like as they're all snaked up.
Yeah, you just steam past everyone into the pits.
Yeah. Well, it was unfair for him anyway, really. I mean, it was the safety car came out the minute he was coming into the pits to repair that front wing, and yeah, he didn't see the Delta, I assume. But he's had a nightmare. He's an absolute nightmare of a race, and it's been no fault of his own as well, really, apart from the collision with.
Who's this you're talking about?
LWS Yorkie.
Oh yeah, he's been involved. Well, he's been a bit of a collision magnet today. I'd have said one of them was his fault. The rest he's been desperately unlucky. But he finds himself in P7, but as you said, with a drive-through. So he's going to be begging once again for another safety car.
Yeah. So, less than ideal for both Alpines, really. Tadas winning P13. Oh, as Jolly Master hits the wall. Gets away, I think, with any damage, but he's on the soft tyre now as well.
I'm not too sure how many laps the softs can do. I think 10 is a maximum.
I think 10 years. I think even 10's pushing it for some performance. But
We've not actually seen anyone do a full stint on softs, have we, really? I mean, last night we saw Dan Hardy on the softs, but he only had them on for 3 laps, and then tonight we've not seen any. I mean, Yorkie started on the softs and boxed at lap 1. So we're on our 3rd safety car restart now. It looks like it's not going to be in this lap because Gopher has not quite managed to catch up with the pack. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how many inroads he's going to pull it towards the end of this race because he is on 4-lap old hards compared to people on fresher and softer tyres in front. So it's really going to be a case of what CTX and Locker can do here.
Yeah, CTX and Locker then, as we said, those drivers on the medium tyres, whereas everyone else on the hards, so expect them to have much more pace at the safety car restart then. We're on to lap 20 now of 35, so just over half distance really of this race. Story so far really is that we've had a fight really for the win between Adrian Bolente, CTX, Bawley and Locker now tagging on to that fight as well. Last week's race winner LWS Yorkie very much in the wars today, running P7 but with a drive-through still to serve. Dark Grey Fox, unfortunate, even though he made up 10 places off the start of the race, to be out. Nigel Piggle involved in a turn 2 incident on lap 1 and forward putting it into the Wall of Champions prior to this safety car, I think it was. Was it the safety car he caused? I can't remember. But yeah, disappointed for him on his TTL debut as well then. As expected, safety car in on this lap. It will be the Lapio Finn that leads us away somehow. 18 lap old hard. I think he just wants his time in the limelight here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what his strategy is going to be in this one. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he just peels into the pits and follows a safety car now.
Yeah.
Well then, maybe, as you said, he just wants a bit of the limelight, and he is going to go around for a lap, and he's going to put his foot down straight away, and it looks like Adrian is on his cheeks pretty much instantaneously. Up in front then, Locker's going to make an early move on Bawley, and he does make it stick. So that is going to be one position done, and up onto the back of CTX now. But CTX on the medium tyres is going to have to try and get past Bolente pretty quick. Adrian getting his 3-second penalty. CTX getting another 3-second penalty. And he's going to have a look around the outside of Bolente into turn number 5 then. Bolente's going to give him the room and he's going to live to fight another day. Adrian really... Oh, okay. Not too sure what's happened there, but Locker is going to potentially have a look around the outside of Bolente. He's going to get on the brakes early and look for a little bit of a switchback. He's not going to get close enough to Bolente. He's going to maybe have a look into the hairpin. Bolente, I think, is just going to let that one go. Maybe not. He will still stick his nose in. The Locker just wiping the nose then of the... Okay, and Bawley and Bolente have ended up in the wall.
That's less than ideal for Bolente. Bawley's car is jumping a little bit slightly for me now, actually. A bit decent there. The Mercedes car. I think Bolente might have got away with damage and does carry on, but now down to P8 then after that slight spin and contact between him and Bawley as Tadasen becomes the latest victim to the Wall of Champions.
Yorkie has been blessed again.
Safety car. Yeah, Yorkie has been blessed, but he didn't serve his drive-through. He tried to serve it when the safety car peeled in last lap. He's in now. I don't think it's going to let him do it this lap either. Nope. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Straight to the soft tyres. Yorkie.
Oh, Yorkie. Oh,
Sorry.
we're gonna have to take a picture of the race to it. This is going to make Tidjum's life very difficult for that. This is his seventh. This is his 7th pit stop for the race now.
Oh dear.
No.
Well.
And he's going to have to do another one.
Yeah, for his drive-through, yeah. I think he must have been listening to the stream, and I think when I said that he might be able to save it.
I'd like to think the Lapio Finn will be in this lap. He's not. No. He's not. He wants to go again.
Oh dear. Oh well.
He must be getting on the puncture territory sometime soon.
Poor Yorkie. Poor Yorkie.
Yorkie, I
Tried
think you
to
just
serve.
pit again now, mate. Let's make TJ's life as difficult as we can.
Tried to serve that drive-through
He's gonna have to
under the
like
safety
decrease
car.
the font on on
It's
the
just
tyre
nah,
graphic.
it's just oh, we'll just cut it off. We'll just put the word fraud on there instead. Instead of his tyres. Oh, CTX just ran into his teammate.
Oh no,
Um,
trouble down at Aston Martin.
Yeah, Aston Martin 1 and 2 at the minute. I don't think CTX got damage from that. It'd be interesting to see if Lapio Finn got a bit of diffuser damage. But I mean, Lapio Finn is right on the tail of the safety car. He can go no faster, and CTX just ran into the back of him. That'll be interesting. You know, Lapio Finn's on 21 lap-old hard tyres now, but still leads this race. Interestingly,
Ideally,
though,
you'd like to think that the
Well-
Lapio Finn would just let CTX by and then hold everyone else up.
oh yeah, 'cause I was just about
Because
to touch on
CTX
the
has
penalties
a
then.
real chance of winning this race. I mean, CTX does have more penalties, which is an
Yeah.
issue. But on track, he has a real chance of winning this race.
Yep, definitely. You feel at this point, when those drivers on the mediums, it's between CTX and Locker then, really. With that tyre advantage, though, we'll have 12 to go when the safety car crosses the line now. And interestingly then, yeah, all the top 5 at least carrying some form of penalty, but it is really, in terms of the constructors, Ferrari versus Aston Martin here. Aston Martin 1 and 2, Ferrari 4 and 5. As CTX hits the Lapio Finn again. What's going on?
I don't know. Is the Lapio Finn slamming the? I mean, I don't think he is brake testing or anything because he's right up
He's
the
right
safety car's
behind.
ass.
Yeah, he can't get any closer to the safety car. And CTX has hit him twice now. That's bizarre, but well, I'll make it a third time.
Yeah, he's seeing how far he can push the boat out without getting penalised.
Lapio Finn might be on the phone to say, get a fucking move on this safety car, because he's got his teammate absolutely badgering him from behind. CTX wants to get racing again. Safety car should be in on this lap. We're going to have our second Lapio Finn safety car restart. There we go. So who's going to get done this time then? You'd imagine, as you said, CTX to get past the Lapio Finn as soon as possible. I think he's making that very clear by tapping him twice. The safety car let me through. But, of course, as you said, do you think we'll see Locker challenging Adrian on the restart as well with that medium tyre advantage?
I'm just interested as to what the Lapio Finn does here. Oh, he's going round again. Oh, and he's got a
come around
very
the
good
final
restart.
corner. He has indeed. Adrian's got a good restart as well, but
Oh,
not
we're gonna have
close
trouble
enough
at
to challenge
Ferrari.
CTX. Nope, they're okay at the moment. it's Ashley though that's behind Locker. You imagine the other way around.
Oh,
with
CTX
Locker's
then.
overtake today.
Oh, the Lapio Finn is really struggling now with these 25 lap old tyres. It's Belend. Oh, CTX has
CTX
planted
hit the
the
wall.
Yorkie's got another
What's
pen.
going on?
Oh no, we've got trouble in the back, and it's Jollo Master who's come off worse. Adrian then loses the back end, and Locker makes him pay. Is Adrian going to stick his nose in then into the chicane? He's not. And he's got Big Ash Dog in behind him, ready to pounce. Oh, there, Adrian then. He's getting an amazing run on Locker, and Locker. Oh my! Oh, Adrian!
Oh, Adrian! Adrian!
Oh,
Dear,
Adriano.
dear. What a shame. That's put Locker down to P5. Then he wasn't launched.
Oh, Adrian's
up
got the good run though on
inside.
Gopher and Yorkie. He's probably got no front wing. Oh, they're 3 wide for 10th place.
Yeah, well, Adrian just completely missing his breaking point. Then we've got Yorkie finally in
He's in
to serve
stop
that
number,
drive through, but he's
number 7.
speeding. Will he now choose to retire that Alpine on lap 26 then? Master gets himself another 3-second time penalty. It's still the Lapio Finn leading the way.
Did he not box
by
again?
7
He
seconds.
didn't
It's
box.
still Lapio Finn. 10 laps to go now for the Lapio Finn. And still, it's an Aston Martin 1-2 then. Ashi in P3 now after the incident between Locker and Adrian, which has put Adrian back down to 10th place and out of the running now, you'd think, to win this race. And it's all about what Bally can do as well. Currently sat P4, no penalties to his name, and currently, with penalties applied, the net winner in this race. And how close can he stay to the top 3 now? Then I think we've got further action going on downfield.
Will he box?
Oh, the Lapio. The Lapio.
Will he box? He's not.
No.
No, he's got a pair.
He's got a pair.
Balls.
Now,
Right.
his teammate now's got the run out of the final chicane, and finally, CTX gets ahead of his teammate and into the lead of the race.
Yeah, he gets the lead of the race now, and what he needs to do, he needs to pull 6 seconds on Bally, which is going to be a very difficult task. Also, someone who's, you know, poised to bring up a lot of positions after penalties are applied is RSF1 Locker. He is only on 3 seconds. Ashi is on 9.
Elton is in the pits again.
Oh my god.
That is stop number 8, I think. It's just trickled over to 7.
Let's have a look. It's trickled over to 7, but one of them, the drive-through doesn't count as a stop, so he's been in the pit lane 8 times.
Yep. Oh, it's Bally much late on the brakes then. Then Ashi that goes deep into the final chicane. Then CTX has been unable to get away from his teammate here. And the Lapio Finn still going round in P2. What a drive this is, to be fair.
Yeah. So Bally then gets his 3 seconds. He also loses a position out of it as well. So that is a nightmare final chicane then from Bally, and he gives up the net race lead then to RSF1 Locker, who is now going to, well, I just said, inherit the race lead effectively on track as he's moving on then back to Bally then with the effective race lead.
Ashley's all over the back of the Lapio Finn now. How quickly can he get past the Aston Martin?
Fucking hell, kill
Still,
me.
the Lapio Finn carries on in P2 then. 25 lap old hard
Did he
tyres.
pit on lap 1?
Lap 2, I think.
Oh, so he's going to the end. Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
he can go to
he
the end.
still needed to pit.
No, I think he started on the mediums.
Oh, they're really struggling now. Oh, good God. If he gets to the end, fair play.
Yeah. That'll be some strategy, to be fair, but he's still got 7 laps to go there. He's right behind his teammate.
Ashi.
Oh, it's Ashi!
He was far too late on the brakes there. Oh, John. What's John Ruddy in the pits for?
John Ruddy, it's all going on.
Oh.
I think Adrian's now P8. Rudnick Judder into the pit lane. I don't know if he got damage of some sort. CTX with another penalty, crucially then. That could really change the order at the end. And still, the net lead of this race would fall to Bally then in P4. Interesting enough, the Lapio Finn still on for a podium. He's just dropped out of his teammate's DRS now, though. So he won't get the benefit of that anymore unless his teammate wants to do him a favour and slow up, but he's got to think about that penalty he's got now. So he'll want to put some daylight between himself and Locker, Bally and the Lapio Finn, really.
Bally got really close to the wall there on the exit of the hairpin, and that's going to leave him vulnerable then to Viking Beast down the back straight. CTX has pulled the gap now to 1.4 seconds in front of his teammate, and he needs to keep pulling that gap if he's got any chance of getting on this podium. Mini gets a 3-second time penalty then at the final chicane. He's on the back of this group now. He's in P7, but he's got 12 seconds of pens. That's not ideal. A lot of people don't like this track, Bidley, and you can see why.
I love this track, you know.
Okay, never mind then. Moving on.
I think it's alright.
On board with Locker then. He's very, very close to the Lapio Finn this lap. And is he going to have a look potentially into turn number 7? Oh, is he going straight into the back of Lapio Finn, who had a bit of a moment on the curb, and Mini's binned it. Anyway, moving on. Locker's going to go up the inside. He's going to make the move stick on the Lapio Finn. The Lapio Finn is going to have a look at just sticking on the back now, because they're nearly 3 seconds behind CTX, which means they're going to lose the position overall.
Yeah, Locker really needed to get ahead of the Lapio Finn there in order to try and keep that gap below 3 seconds and to win the race. Lapio Finn now trying to do his best to hold onto the back of the Ferrari, but Bawley has so much more battery at his disposal. Surely it's a matter of time before he's ahead on track 2. But you can see how careful Bawley's taking it
Viking
for the final
Beast.
chicane.
Here comes the Beast. Round the outside, then into turn 1.
Oh, just enough room between the two drivers.
Oh, Bawley's going to look for the switchback, but oh, he just spins him. He just spins him.
Dear.
He just spins him. That was not nice.
Bawley.
Bawley,
What was that?
Bawley.
You can't do that to the TTL legend that is Viking Beast.
Well then,
That's disgusting behaviour.
so Bawley is now effectively P1, I believe. But
Yeah.
Viking Beast has been robbed. Get some justice for Viking Beast in the chat.
Yeah, you would probably think that one would go to the stewards at the end of the race. But we'll see. And Valente then looks on for a podium. And, well, after the penalties are applied, if there is any issue for that instant, which there might be, that's my hint.
Yeah,
Valente
there's potential for a penalty, I think. there's definitely potential.
Valente might take an unlikely race win. There is still 4 laps to go here, so still a chance from the drivers out in front to put some time between themselves and those behind. There's Diamond Douchey in the chat then. RIP Viking Beast.
I'll tell you what,
Up
Bidley.
the John Ruddy having no pens.
I'll tell you what, if Valente wins this race, this is going to be the strangest pole to P1 I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what's the gaps? Let's have a look.
I mean,
What's the gap to the lead?
I mean, ideally, I think to win this race, he needs to overtake Bawley, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. But we can hope.
Yeah, 6.7 to the leader at the moment then, so he does need to find about a second at the moment. I'm trying to do the maths in my head to see where everyone ends up, at least. At the minute, Bawley will finish on the track.
Well, it's about 6 seconds back to Bawley.
Yeah.
Which means Valente at the moment is not going to beat CTX.
Oh, as Bawley nearly takes out the Lapio Finn as well, has to get straight on the brakes, and now he is ahead of the Lapio Finn, who's down to P4 then.
Yeah. So CTX with another penalty, and that is definitely his chance of the race win down the toilet. So then, it's going to be RSF1 Locker versus Bawley for the win. Bawley needs to stay within half a second, because he's 2.5 behind Locker at the moment. Locker needs to push full beans.
Yeah, but then there was that instant in qualifying with RSF1 Locker. Will that have some effect? Yeah. I have no idea.
Go for it if you'd like to cost Locker the win. Get it sent
We might
in.
not know the race result for like 3 days.
Yeah, this is going to be a long old stewards report, I think.
Yeah. You thought the real world F1 was bad. You wait for this.
Tell you what, John Ruddy's going to scrape some points here.
He will.
Pens.
Yeah, he's going to get into P9 at the moment. So, decent from John Ruddy, who took that late pit stop. As Valente then gets past the Lapio Finn, who gets another time penalty.
Adrian's going to scrape some points then, as Adrian does get past the Lapio Finn's tyres have given up here. They have well and truly given up. He's done well. It's a valiant effort.
I would say that if Adrian gets ahead of Valente here, he's got a chance at the win after potential penalties, but then he's also been involved in incidents.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Valente is the only one.
If we rewind back to what he did at the hairpin, I mean, that can't run.
Valente is
Cannot
the only
run.
driver that's not been involved in incidents, but I have a feeling he's about to be passed then by the Irish TTL magnet that is Adrian. He's all over the back of the Alfa Romeo then. God, I thought he was going to drive into it then, but he's done well.
I wouldn't have been surprised if he did. Anyway, is this for position? I haven't looked at the pens. This is for position. Valente looks like he's just got out of the way.
Yeah. It is for position. They've both got the same amount of penalties in, so Adrian into P4 as CTX takes us on then to the final lap of the race, and it's all going on behind John Ruddy and Mini then having a battle out of the chicane. And John Ruddy with a bit more battery on board his Williams to get past the Hassan into the final points paying position into 10th place. And still trying to do some maths here to see how it's going to pan out on the road, but I think I'm going to let the game decide because I have absolutely no idea.
Well, I think
half a lap to go.
I think it's going to be Borley, Locker, Adrian on the podium.
Yeah, for now. Anyway, CTX then comes around the chicane for one final time. You'd say, without the penalties really, Revengezilla, it's been a good race from CTX. He's shown some good pace today, and perhaps it's something that he'll be able to take with him from this, even if he might not get a podium out of it. He looks like he'll be able to challenge for podiums in the future. But it will be CTX then that takes it on track. He will finish P1 on the road.
Tell you what, it's
Locker,
close in the end, actually.
who gets P1. It's Borley who gets P1 then. Locker P2, Adrian P3, CTX in P4.
Valente misses out by 2/10.
Valente, yeah, really lost pace there after being passed by Adrian. So P5 for him. Go for P6, the Lapio Finn. 33 laps on a set of hard
John
tyres
Ruddy
and
gonna
gets
come
some
home for a
points
few
it.
points. Here he comes. Hey, couple of points for the Joy Ruds.
For John Ruddy
Should we all give
we
Yorkie a
just
clap
like
as
him
he comes
beast.
across the line?
in
Here he
PA.
comes.
Mini gets P10, Ash P11, LWS Yorkie, the most unlucky driver. The most unlucky driver, it should be said, in TTR, I think, after what I've witnessed tonight. He has been involved in just about everything. Games driver of the day, ETNL Gotha will get the co-commentator's driver of the day. I really want to find out how worn the Lapio Finn's tyres were after 33 laps, how they didn't burst. I have no idea, but here then is your provisional race winner, I should say. It was a very incident-filled race, so we might see some changes to the finishing order. It is Borley who for now takes the first place trophy. Good drive in the end, although I think all the top drivers, as I said, involved in some incidents today. Revengezilla obviously will cut quickly in a minute to the classification for the end of that race, but of course as co-commentator finally today, who do you think is going to be your driver of the day then?
You know what? I'm going to give it to the Lapio Finn. He's just done 33 laps on a set of hards. He's made up 4 positions. We begged him to come into the pits. He ignored us. And he's going to take today's driver of the day for an unbelievable hard tyre stint. He didn't even look that slow at the end. Like, concerningly, he actually looked relatively quick, even on 33 lap old hards. So, congrats to him, and I'm sure he'll be happy to take away the points for 7th place.
Yeah, definitely good points for him and his teammate today then, Aston Martin 4 and 7. But we got to the end of the top 10 then, so as I said, it's Ashy P11, LWS Yorkie P12, Jolomaster P13, he had some pace today, but unfortunately involved in a few incidents. It's Talas P14 forward in P15, a TTL debut to forget, at least in the race anyway. Darth Grey Fox, who was quick off the start, but then as well involved in incidents, finishes P16 not classified. And Nigel Piggle as well, who was out before we even got going really at turn 2 then. A crash between him and about 10 drivers, I think. But that's all we got time for. Thank you for watching. We were treated to a little bit of a different race compared to yesterday, I think. But nonetheless, it was still entertaining indeed. Sorry about the stream issues again. Blame Revengezilla. Not ideal from you, I'll be honest. But hopefully we'll have none of that in the future and we're back to normal service next week. As I was reminded earlier, it is Portugal then next Monday for the Division 1 boys. That'll take us away on Monday 8 PM UK time. Division 2 on Tuesday at 8 PM as well. As I said, Portugal round 3 of that then. We've had different race winners in both divisions so far this season. Will we have a third in each division next week? Find out then, but until then, it's goodbye from me. Goodbye from Revengezilla, who I think is still there.
Yep, I'm still here.
We're
See you
back.
later.
There we go.
See you later.
See you later.
What a race. Yeah. See you in Portimao, everyone. We'll be back on Monday.
Yep, that's just summed up perfectly. So, bye.